Yes, बच्चों बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Today is 1st of June and inshallah today we will study control construct sequence in programming. In this we will learn how to write a program using sequence control construct. Before that we have studied data types, and in data types we have studied 6 different data types. The number one data type was integer to store whole numbers for calculation. It may be positive or negative. Number two is to store real numbers with fractional part to be used in calculation, may be positive or negative. To store single character char, to store series of character string, to store yes or no, true or false boolean, and to store date. Right now we are starting programming, so we need to know the data types to be used in our programming language means Python. In Python, integers are represented as int in small letter. For real number we use float. In Python we don't have char, so we will use str for string if and we may store single character or multiple character. Huh? So if we are writing single character, it will be used as char, and if we are writing series of characters, it will be used as string. For boolean we have bool, right? And date is not available in Python. These are the data types to be used in Python. In Python, we will use int, float, float, str string, and bool. Right? Is there any confusion, बच्चों? Now, we will move forward to study the control construct. Right? Control constructs which we study in programming and in algorithm. There are 3 control constructs. Out of these, one will be studied today, and then we will study in next classes we will study the second and third. The first control construct is known as sequence. The second control construct is known as selection. Sometimes we use a word condition. And the third control construct is known as repetition. It is also known as loop or iteration. Today we will study sequence, right? This is our topic for today's sequence. Yes, beta. Sequence. Sequence means whenever we are writing statements in a program, we will write all the statements in an order, right? And what will be the order? The order will be that order in which we want that the program should be executed, right? So it is not possible for us that we write down program different statements in a program and computer itself decide which statement should be executed at first and which statement is to be executed at last. This is beyond the capability of computer. Computer cannot decide itself. So we need to write down the statements in order, right? So all statements are written in order they are to be executed. Right, bacho? This is the definition of sequence. Sequence means all the statements are written in order they are to be executed. For example, we can use an example. Suppose we are asked to calculate sum of two numbers. Yes, we are asked to calculate sum of two numbers. And we are asked to write down a program for that. So we will write down, firstly, we need to know which numbers are to be executed. Then we will write down the formula of calculation. And at last we will write down the output. So the statements will be written in order that firstly we input first number, then we input the second number, and we perform calculation like sum equals to num1 plus num2, and then we will give output, print sum, right? So these are the four statements. These all four statements will be written in order, in this order, right? It is beyond the capability of computer that we have, suppose we have written sum equals to num1 plus num2, then we are inputting a number, and then we are output the number, right? If so, this program cannot be executed. I will show you. Acha, here we need to decide the data type of numbers. So what will be the data type of number, beta? We have studied these data types, right? Now we are asked to input two numbers and calculate their sum and output. So what should be the data type of these numbers? Number one, number two, and sum. Yes, beta, Sehla. Sehla, what will be the data type of num1, num2, and sum? Num1, num2, and sum. These are the data types. Affan Tariq. Abdullah Saqib. Abdullah Abdul Ghaffar.
Yes, sir.
What will be the data type of num1, num2, and sum? Integer, real, char, string, boolean, or
Sir,
date?
integer.
Integer, right? Because it is to be used in calculation. Acha, we can also use real. Real are also for calculation. But the advantage of real is that it can store the decimal point. So if we are writing, suppose you are writing 4.5 and 6.1. If we are using real, then the sum will be equals to 10.6. And if you are using integer 4.5, so 0.5 will be ignored. 6.1 so 0.1 will be ignored, then the sum will be equals to 10. So it will be better that you use real. So we will use real data type for num1, num2, and sum. Remember, beta, you will write down the data type integer only when if you are asked to store the data in whole number. Otherwise, you will write down real data type. Are you getting my point? unless or until it says that there should be whole numbers or there is counting, we use integer, otherwise we will use real. Is it clear, beta? Now we are going to write down this program in Python. Copy. We have discussed that we will work on this code now. Yeah. Yes, beta. Now I have copied the source code and pasted over here, right? Sudo code, right? Now there is no need to declare variables in Python, so I will remove it. You are asked to input num. The syntax to input numbers in Python is that firstly we write down the variable, then we write down the equals to, and then we write down the data type. We have studied the data type of real in Python. The data type of real in Python is float. The data type of real in Python is float. So we will use float data type. Then we will write down the command to input, and then we will write down a message, enter first number. Right, beta. Then num2 is equals to float enter second number. Yes. Then sum will be equals to same command will be used, and for print, acha, remember that in Python command words are written in small letters. So I will write down print sum within. Yes, it says enter first number. Suppose the first number is 50, right? And second number is 30. What should be output, beta? Rayan, what should be output? Rayan, Sarim, Amir, Salim, Affan, Tariq.
Sir, 80.
80, right? So it will be better that we print a message. So we will write down sum of numbers. Eighty, 90, 170, right? Achha. If I am, yes, beta, this is our program. I am, I will share this program with you, huh? Achha, yes, beta. Remember, yes, beta. This is your variable, right? Then this is your data type. Then this is command word input. All command words are written in small letters. All data types are written in small letter. And this is the message for input. This message for input is known as prompt. Remember, this message of input is known as prompt. Message for input. Right? If I am not writing a message for input, suppose I have deleted the message for input. I have written nothing. Right? And now I am executing it. Num1 equals to, oh, 1 bracket. Yes, beta. It asks something, but what is to be entered, it is not clear. Huh? I have written, then it is asking something else, but it is not clear what is to be written. Now, if I am writing output without this message, it is not mentioned that what is the output, right? So it is a good practice that whenever you input, you will write down a clear message for input. Right here, enter first number, enter second number, and output message, total of the numbers. Now enter first number 45, enter second number 56, 55, right? And this is it clear, beta? Is it clear? Now, why do I have displayed this message? I will show you the reason. This is your paper, right? Yes. Now, you will observe that it says your program or programs must include appropriate prompts for the entry of data. Right? Secondly, error messages and other output need to be set out clearly and understandably. Right? And third, all variables and constant and other identifier must have meaningful name. This is the requirement of our syllabus. What are the requirement of our syllabus? That all variables constant must be meaningful. Secondly, uh, there must be appropriate prompt for the entry of the data, and output must be clear and understandable. You need to understand the syntax of input in Python. In Python, whenever we input, firstly we write down the variable name, then we write down equals to, then we write down, like here I am writing a command to input. Suppose you are asked to input price. So how do we input price? Firstly, we write down the command to input, right? So firstly, I will write down price, then equals to, then I will write down the data type. Price has fractional part, so it will be float. Then we will write down input. Acha, remember, data types and command words are written in small letters. Then I will open a bracket and here I will write down message, enter price of the item. This is the syntax of input, right? And the syntax of output is we will write down print in small letter, right? In all small. Then here we will write down the message price you have entered. Then we will close the message using quotation mark, comma, and then we will write down the variable.